What's going on, everybody? Blazing here. Welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. And all I gotta say is, it's about freaking time. It's about freaking time. It only took us a year, probably actually a little bit longer, right? How long has it been since Packmaster's been released for us to get the fusion that pairs with him, right?
I haven't a clue what's going on here, but I'll act like I do.
We got Crowhead, the Throat Ripper. Interesting name. Not gonna lie, kind of, I don't know. But he's a attack-based legendary champion. He is going to be part of the orcs, which is kind of cool. And magic affinity, right? So I think he looks really solid visual-wise, right? I haven't taken a look at the skill kit yet, but visual-wise, I think they've done a really good job. They always do. So I kind of like that. 2 thumbs up. I really think he just looks awesome. But let's go ahead. Let's break down the skill kit and let's see how good is he going to be, especially after Taunt got nerfed hard. Are we going to want to go for this guy? Or do we really just have to go for him because he was paired with, Packmaster Sayak? And so we've been asking for it so long, we might as well do it, right? So let's go ahead. Let's break the skill kit down. All right. So the A1 attacks all enemies. This attack deals single target damage to each individual rather than AoE and will ignore reflect damage, pain link, and ally protection. This attack also deals double damage, right? So not a secondary hit, just double the damage if Packmaster Sayak is on the same team. So I think it looks pretty solid. It's going to work a lot like what is it, Thor, where he goes like each individual one, right? He doesn't deal like AoE on all of them. I think it's on the A2 or the A3. I forget. It's been a while. But I think the A1 looks pretty solid. Double damage on with Packmaster, assuming that the multipliers are good, I think that's pretty good, right? Festering Jaw attacks all enemies, places an extra hit on enemies under 2 or more debuffs. Cool. Has a 75% chance of placing a leech debuff and a 25% chance, 25% weaken debuff for 2 turns. These debuffs cannot be resisted if Sayak's on the same team. It books down to a 3-turn cooldown and books up to 100%. Now the leech, I don't know. Maybe it plays a little bit more into his skill kit, but I don't think it's going to be too crazy. To be honest, I mean, it might help you with some trials in Chimera. But again, being magic affinity, I think we'll use them 3 rotations that are going to be good, because anything that has force, we're pretty much going to be weak hitting, right? And it is an AoE, so that's kind of nice. Definitely, I think would help out with faction wars. The only thing is, although I think Packmaster Sayak is an orc, so that will work pretty well for faction wars. That will work pretty well. Dominant Predator, all right, attacks 1 enemy, will ignore 50% of the target's defense as well as life barrier and poison cloud. Interesting. So this is going to be kind of I guess a good thing for Hydra. I don't know about life barrier. I guess, yeah. So this is definitely going to be to try to get your champions out if they've been devoured. But if he doesn't have good multipliers, it's not going to be good. It's really not. Especially with the new fusion that they just gave us. This kind of seems a little lackluster, right? And this effect buffs. And this effect redirects attacks, damage, or debuffs to another target and repeats this attack once if Packmaster Sayak is on the same team. Hold on, let me read that again. Will ignore 50% of the target's defense, as well as life barrier and poison cloud buffs, and effects that redirect attack damage or debuffs to another target. Repeat this attack once. Kind of confusing. Hold on, let me check something real quick. Okay, so I'm guessing the way that this is supposed to work is if you have like reflect damage on or something like that. I think that's what it is. I'm gonna try to get a little more clarification, because the end effects that redirect attacks damage or debuffs to another target. It's a little confusing. So, because he's not placing debuffs with the A3, right? So he's just ignoring damage. So I don't know. Maybe I think does Packmaster do anything? We'll wait and see. But I'll try to get a little more clarification on this. And it books down to a 3-turn cooldown. Again, based on what we might have for multipliers, it should be pretty solid, right? And then Primal Ambition, the passive, increases this champion's attack by 5% when killing an enemy or decapitating a Hydra head. Cool. Okay, so they're really pushing this to be a Hydra champion. Stacks up to 25%. Okay. So shouldn't be too hard to take care of, right? Although he will have to be the one decapitating the head. He won't, it can't be somebody else. So you'll maybe have to make sure that, plays into it. Increases this champion's attack by 10% when killing an enemy or decapitating a Hydra head. Instead, if Packmaster Sayak is on the same team, stacks up to 50%. That's basically a free increase attack on top of increase attack. So I like that. Instantly activates Dominant Predator, which is the A3, against Hydra heads when an ally is consumed by that head if Packmaster's like, ooh, that's nice. Okay, so you basically get free damage the moment somebody gets consumed. So consumed, we're talking about when they get swallowed, right? Not when they get devoured. I just have to make sure and check. So it is actually when they get devoured. So the moment, your champion gets eaten, unless he's the, one that's going to have the highest crit damage. So I guess you will want to try to play with that at the start. He will go ahead and use that A3, which is actually really nice, right? Especially because it ignores the life barrier, it ignores poison shields or poison clouds. So you're going to get a lot of damage out of this. Now, again, I feel like, speculation on multipliers. If we're talking Thor level damage, I think this is going to be great if we're talking Thor level multipliers, right? Pretty solid there. I like that the A1 is going to be AoE. Where are we going to really use them though, right? If we're just talking about Hydra, where else are we going to really use them? So we're definitely going to be using him on Hydra. Clan Boss, he's going to be good. He doesn't do any extra turns or anything like that, so you'll be able to speed tune him pretty easily. Granted, I don't think you're going to want to use him there. Chimera, the A2 should be pretty solid for Chimera. The A1 should be pretty solid as well too. Actually, I wonder how this will do against the Ram form. That'll be interesting to see because the Ram form does reflect damage, right? So that might be kind of interesting. So I want to see how that's going to work out. And then I feel like the A3 here, effects that redirect attacks, I think that's talking about the Head of Decay or the Head of Mischief because they redirect attacks. So I guess this would be possibly a way that you don't have to bring Hex, or if you don't have Hex up, you'll still be able to target that head. So I think that's how that's supposed to work. Again, I'll get a little more clarification on it because it is a little confusing, right? But we'll see. So yeah, Hydra definitely going to look pretty solid if you don't already have some good champions. I'm trying to think here. Chimera, like I said, a couple of the trials, that's it. Clan Boss, pretty solid. Campaign farming, definitely. Faction Wars should be pretty good. He's a nuker, right? He's a straight out nuker, and being able to have that 50% ignore defense in on a 3-turn cooldown, I mean, that's pretty strong, right? As for, everywhere else, I think he's definitely going to be pretty solid. Now, I will do, I think I might do this on 2 different accounts because I want to see how he's going to pair with a lower end account and maybe a higher end account. Now, I will say that this fusion starts, I believe it's next Thursday. Let's take a quick peek. Monday, July 28th. I do apologize. So yes, I think overall, I would say the kit looks really solid. 100%. I think it's really, really good. Orcs don't, they have a few good nukers, but nothing really crazy, right? I mean, if we're talking about straight attack nukers, I mean, you do have Grohag, that's a pretty solid. But other than that, like, there's not a lot in here that I would say, yeah, let's go ahead and build out. So maybe he's the key, right? I mean, we do have Seer that kind of blows up everything. Zargal is pretty good. But legendary wise, it makes it really tough. I know everything else is it's kind of outdated, right? It's kind of outdated. So with that in mind, I'm happy to see that we finally got Packmaster Sayak's new pet in the game. Let me take a quick peek here. When attacked, has a chance to place a hex debuff for 1 turn if an ally on the target under a hex debuff placed by the champion deals 20% more damage. When this champion is attacked, an ally Terror Beast. Okay, so this should go ahead and then we'll actually end up getting more damage out on the A1, which again, the A1 is an AoE that will ignore Pain Link. So could this bring Packmaster Sayak back into the game? Could it make him really viable? And if so, do we really want Plarium to, I don't know, maybe do something a little bit different with his skill kit, like get rid of the taunt or something and make it a little more, I don't know, instead of taunt, give us increased defense maybe? I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. But I think overall, I'm going to go for him. Not just because it's a catch 'em all, but I do think he's going to be pretty solid on some of my early game accounts. Now, speaking about which accounts should go for it. Number one, if you can go for a fusion, you should go for it. If you're getting into Hydra, even if you don't have Packmaster Sayak, he is going to do quite a few things for you. The leech is pretty strong for Hydra. Being able to do damage on life barrier and everything that kind of sucks about Hydra, right? Is definitely a good thing. It'll help out a lot. Again, being Magic Affinity kind of sucks, but is what it is. So I would say early game, mid game accounts, if you can do it, go for it. End game accounts, we're pretty much going to go for it and then say, all right, you know, we'll put it in the vault and see how it goes based on, you know, will Bronco find some sort of crazy, crazy thing for him. But that said, with the new fusion that we just got, which was Titus, I don't know how many people are going to actually really use this dog, right? Again, but if you miss Titus, if you're just coming into the game, I think this fusion is actually going to be pretty solid for your account. That said, in the comments down below, I want to hear from you guys. Do you think he's going to be good or bad? Are you finally excited that we're getting the fusion for Packmaster, the extra pet, you know? Could this be, could we maybe make a full Packmaster and, you know, I guess pets for the lack of better term, Fire Knight team, right? That could be kind of interesting. We'll have to wait and see. Again, I think I think you should go for him. I really do. But let me know in the comments down below again, will you go for him or not? Join us every Sunday, 2 p.m. EST for the Knights of Teleria podcast, where we dive into the world of Raid Shadow Legends, discussing everything from free-to-play strategies to pay-to-win insight, and covering the journey from early to mid-game. Whether you're a newbie or a seasoned player, we have something for everyone. Don't miss out on the Knights of Teleria podcast, the only podcast for Raid Shadow Legends. As always, much love, much appreciation. Be safe, be well, be good to each other. I'll catch you guys next time.